Good morning, YouTube.
Good morning.
This is Lewis with Rosebuds Travels, and we are currently leaving Oneonta, New York. And we were at that campground on top of the hill, which had a gorgeous view. And we are now heading to a Walmart in
Sanford, Maine.
Sanford, Maine. And we're going to take a route. We're going to eventually get to the coast and then drive kind of along the coast to get to Southwest Harbor, which is our destination on this leg of the trip. And we will be in Maine for a while on Mount Desert Isle. We'll be there for about a week. So that's one of our major destinations on this trip. And the weather, well, you can't see. The weather is cloudy, but it's very pleasant. Temperature's just right, and it's pleasant. So I think it'll be a good driving day. And we actually called this Walmart because in the reviews it says that they want you to call them, and they're kind of strict about they only let people stay one night, and I guess they're doing that because they don't want people moving in, which I understand. So they give permission if you're staying for one night. If you're wanting to stay more than one night, they don't. So we called them, got permission. They said everything's great. So we're heading that direction.
And the route we're taking has no tolls. Often when you travel in New England states, you'll travel on toll roads to kind of speed things up. And of course that was an option we could have taken, but we decided we really didn't want to mess with paying tolls and figuring out all of that. And so the route we're taking doesn't have tolls, but it takes us on some pretty nice roads, through some pretty places.
Yeah, I think the scenery winds up being a little bit better in the route we're taking. The toll roads tend to be the major highway kind of things where, and that's fine, but we decided to do it this way just to take a little different route. We've scheduled enough time to do it, so we just decided to go that route, and it saves some money, but and what's interesting is it's in Google Maps anyway, it's a little bit longer, and so I'm not really sure.
I don't think we're saving on gas.
Yeah, I don't think we're necessarily saving on gas, but yeah.
In my experience, though, unless you have a toll pass, when you're going on toll roads, you spend some time just waiting in line to pay the tolls. Because we have driven to Maine before, and it can get kind of dicey driving through the areas that are really congested over on the East Coast. So I think this is actually a more pleasant route in a lot of ways, with possibly a little less congestion in the traffic department. At least I'm hoping so.
Yeah, and a lot of tollways charge by the axle. So when you're pulling a trailer, you're paying for an extra axle. So it actually costs you more money because you pay for that extra axle. Yeah, and we looked into getting one of the getting passes to be able to go all the way And it was kind of a complex thing to figure out exactly which ones you needed to have.
And you needed multiple ones.
So we decided to not go that route. And it just, it's simpler. So that's what we did. And the campground we were just at is very nice, and it's a full hookup campground. So we had everything hooked up, and that allowed us to take relatively long showers last night.
That was nice.
We actually hooked the sewer up, and I opened the gray valve so that we could shower, and it wasn't necessarily filling up the gray tank, and we were just, it was closer to what you would be used to at home in a house. It's not exactly the same because you're in a smaller bathroom, and it's a little different, but it was pretty close, and it allowed you to really take a shower, and I enjoyed that. I actually washed my hair and everything. I mean, it made that a little more pleasant having full hookups. The other places we've stayed in campgrounds on this trip have been water and electric sites, and then they have a dump station on the way out. And then, of course, boondocking, you just, it is what it is. You don't have any hookups at all, and you rely on your own resources. So, and then when we're in Maine, we're going to be actually at an RV park, and we decided to do that because then we'll have full hookups.
Well, and we'll be spending a lot of time with family members, other family members who are gathering there.
Right, there's going to be kind of a family reunion kind of thing in Maine, so there'll be a lot of family activities and stuff that we're going to be involved in. So, yeah, so that's what we're doing. We'll fill you in a little bit later on how this is going, and we'll show you the Walmart we're going to stay at, and so we'll see you a little bit later. I just wanted to show you what a typical New England highway is like. They're narrow roads that run through little towns, and they're hilly as can be. And some of them have some really steep hills on there. And what I'm learning is
speed trip.
I have an 8-speed automatic transmission on the car, but I can put it in the manual shift mode, and I can downshift. If I'm going down a hill, I can put it in manual shift mode, downshift, and it will control the speed of the car, even though it's being pushed by the Casita also. So it's a good skill to kind of learn if your vehicle is able to do that, where you can downshift.
Oh
shoot, bumps. If you can downshift, even if you have an automatic transmission, my particular car, it can do that. It's an 8-speed transmission, and I can downshift. And what that does is allow you to control speed going down a hill without wearing out your brakes, and you're not overheating your brakes either. So, and you don't want to do that. If you're going downhill, you don't want to be just applying your brakes all the time, because you will overheat your brakes, and then your brakes don't work as effectively. So it's best if you can control your speed with the engine, and so that's one of the things I'm learning and doing. You want to say anything?
Oh, I don't know. What I'm noticing is the architecture not right here, but in other earlier areas, we were driving through the houses, and the buildings were quite old, many made of stone, outside staircases, just some kind of interesting architectural details. We've seen a lot of old barns, some tumble down, some reasonably well cared for. So it's very interesting area, very old part of our country. Lots of history around here. We're very close to Albany, which of course is the capital of New York. So this is a highway that's Highway 7 outside of Albany, New York. And we're headed east. So it's just interesting, an interesting area to me.
We made it to Sanford, Maine, and this was actually the best Walmart camping experience we've ever had. It was really quiet. We did call the manager before we came here, and they said it's fine if you stay one night, and they do manage it. There are no trucks coming and sleeping here overnight, so it's really quiet. It's very peaceful Walmart. So we're on to our next leg of our journey. I'll see you in the next video.